The speed of innovation in cloud tech, well, it's pretty astonishing right now, isn't it? Especially Google Cloud Platform.
Oh, absolutely. It feels like something new drops almost every day.
It really does.
Yeah.
Just trying to keep up feels like a job in itself.
Uh-huh. Doesn't matter if you're just starting out or managing huge systems, things are constantly changing.
Exactly. And that's why we're here doing this deep dive. We've gathered a bunch of recent technical updates.
Like a collection of GCP nuggets, you could say, from the second half of May 2025.
Yep, that's the time frame. And our mission today is, well, pretty straightforward. We want to cut through the noise.
Help you quickly get what these key announcements are about using the platform's language.
Right, what they actually mean for you, what problems they might solve, even if you're still learning GCP. Okay, let's dig into this pile.
Sounds good. So looking at the source material from this period, you can really feel the energy around, well, AI and machine learning.
Oh yeah, it's everywhere.
It's not just moving fast, it feels like it's accelerating. I mean, the source even mentions Google putting out monthly summaries just for AI updates.
Monthly. That tells you everything about the pace, doesn't it?
It really does.
And what's wild is, even right after Cloud Next 25, which wasn't that long ago, we're already seeing more updates.
Yeah.
Especially for those generative media models.
No slowing down at all.
Yeah.
We're definitely seeing that continued evolution in models that, create stuff.
Like images and video.
Exactly. So, Imagen 4, that's the text-to-image one. It's now in public preview over on Vertex AI.
Okay, so you type text, get a picture back. Simple concept, but powerful.
Right. And then there's VO3 that comes out of Google DeepMind. It's highlighted as, the latest state-of-the-art for video generation.
So text instructions again, but this time you get a video.
And Lyria 2 is the text-to-music model. Does pretty much what it sounds like, creates music from your text prompts.
And the source was saying these are getting really good, really fast.
Yeah, the improvement curve is steep. They're producing pretty impressive results just based on that text input.
Okay, so that's generating new media. What about improving the main models, like Gemini?
Good question. Yeah, there are specific enhancements for Gemini 2.5 Pro and Flash models, too.
Oh, like what?
One really interesting one is called thought summaries.
Thought summaries, what's that?
So when you interact with the model, it can actually show you the key steps or the reasoning it used internally to come up with its answer.
Oh, wow. That's actually super helpful for understanding the why behind the output, like looking under the hood a bit.
Exactly. Helps you validate the process. And the source also mentions expanded capabilities for coding and math tasks.
Big win for developers there.
Definitely. And also, importantly, security enhancements. Things to help prevent prompt injection attacks, make the AI applications more solid.
Makes sense. You need that robustness.
And of course, making these powerful tools easier to actually use is critical. So the developer experience around AI is getting a lot of focus.
Like Vertex AI Studio, that's kind of the main interface, right?
It is. And it's had a pretty significant revamp. The goal seems clear: make the workflow smoother, more intuitive.
What kind of enhancements did the source mention there?
Okay, so better tools for refining your prompts, which is key. A prompt gallery with examples to get you started faster.
Examples are always good.
Yeah. And model cards so you get clear info about the models. Sensible defaults, which helps. And that really important feature, grounding responses.
Grounding. Explain that a bit more.
So grounding is all about connecting the model's answer back to specific data sources you trust, like pulling info from Google search or maybe your own company documents via a RAG system.
RA being retrieval augmented generation.
Right. It makes sure the model isn't just making things up, but basing its answers on factual information you've pointed it to. Yeah. It anchors the output.
Crucial for enterprise use, definitely. And it wasn't just Vertex AI Studio, right?
Yeah.
Colab Enterprise got some love too.
Absolutely. Colab Enterprise, that notebook environment lots of people use for coding, that's been revamped too.
With AI help built in.
Exactly. Big highlight is Gemini assistance directly in the coding environment. Think of it like an AI pair programmer.
Okay, so helping with code completion, generating snippets.
Explaining code, even helping fix errors. It's right there while you code. Plus, there's a revamped experience overall and new sample notebooks to help people get going.
Nice. Okay, let's shift gears a bit. A big challenge for companies is searching their own data effectively with AI, right? Finding the right stuff internally.
Oh, absolutely. You have all this internal knowledge, but getting the most relevant piece of information for a specific query, that's tough.
So what's new to help with that?
That's where the new Vertex AI Ranking API comes in. Its whole purpose is to boost the precision of the results you get back from your search system, like in a RX setup.
So it doesn't do the initial search, it makes the results better.
Precisely. Think of it like a smart refinement layer. You give it the list of potential results from your first search pass.
The candidate results.
Exactly. And this API uses deep semantic understanding. Basically, it understands the meaning, not just keywords, to reorder that list.
Pushing the best, most relevant answers to the top.
You got it. Makes your internal search much smarter. The source even listed specific models for this, like Ranker Default 004.
Okay, very cool. So you build these great AI apps, you make search smarter. Where do you run these things easily?
Well, Cloud Run is really stepping up as a go-to place for that. It's built for running containerized apps simply, and it scales.
And it's becoming a popular target for deploying AI apps.
Yeah, the source emphasizes that. Easy deployment, sometimes just a click away from places like Vertex AI Studio.
And something about AI agents on Cloud Run, a new technical bit.
Right, support for an MCP server, which is basically a standardized way to interact with AI agents running on Cloud Run using commands. Makes deploying those kinds of agent apps easier.
Got it. And we can't forget mobile, right? Lots of interaction happens on phones.
True. And running ML models directly on the device is key for good user experience, but...
But testing across all the different phones must be a nightmare.
Exactly. The diversity is huge. So Google AI Edge Portal, it's in private preview right now, aims to solve that.
Wow.
It's a platform specifically for testing and benchmarking how your on-device ML models perform across a whole range of actual mobile hardware. Helps ensure things run well for everyone.
That makes a ton of sense. Need that consistency. And speaking of models, Vertex AI Model Garden keeps growing.
It does. It's the central place to find models, and a big part of the growth is adding more third-party models.
Like which ones?
Well, Anthropic's latest Claude models, Opus 4 and Sonnet 4, are now generally available there.
Oh, GA. And as model as a service.
Yep, MOS. So you can use them directly in Vertex AI without managing the infrastructure yourself. Big convenience factor.
Definitely a big deal for developers wanting those specific models easily. Any others mentioned?
Additions from Mistral AI. There's LitChat Enterprise, which is like an AI work assistant you get through the cloud marketplace. And Mistral OCR 25.05. That's an optical character recognition model now in the model garden.
OCR, that's for pulling text out of images, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah,
scans.
exactly. Takes an image of text, turns it into actual text data you can use. So that model helps with that task.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot just on the AI front.
Yeah.
Let's move over to containers and Kubernetes. Core stuff for running apps.
Absolutely. GKE, Google Kubernetes Engine, is fundamental. One interesting thing highlighted is a project called LMD.
LMD, what's that for?
It's described as a framework specifically for running LLM inference, running those big language models efficiently on Kubernetes. And Google's contributing to it. It's a community effort.
Running LMs efficiently on K8 sounds challenging. What makes LMD special?
It uses some clever tricks. For instance, a VLLM-aware inference scheduler, instead of just randomly assigning requests.
It's smarter.
Yeah. It tries to send requests where the model might already have some work cached. They call it prefix cache hit, or to instances that aren't busy. Better speed, uses fewer resources.
Okay. Intelligent scheduling.
Yeah.
Anything else?
It also does something called disaggregated serving. For really long requests, it can break the work down like the prefill and decode stages and potentially run them on different machines.
Splitting the work for better throughput.
Right. Improves throughput and latency for those longer jobs. And it's flexible, works with GPUs, TPUs, supports PyTorch now, JAX later.
Definitely some advanced engineering there. Any other major GKE updates?
Yes. GKE Data Cache hit general availability. GA.
GKE Data Cache, what problem does that solve?
Performance for apps that read a lot of data frequently. Think read-heavy workloads on GKE.
How does it work?
It cleverly uses the fast local SSDs that are already on the GKE nodes. It treats them as a cache for data that's normally on slower persistent storage, like persistent disk or hyperdisk.
So it automatically copies frequently used data to the faster local drive.
Exactly. Your app reads some data a lot. GKE Data Cache transparently puts it on the local SSD.
And the benefit is?
Much lower read latency, faster reads, and higher query throughput. You can read more data per second. Big performance boost for read-intensive apps on GKE.
That sounds like a potential game changer if you're hitting disk I/O limits. Okay, let's talk data analytics. BigQuery territory.
Right. And a huge theme here is the tighter integration between BigQuery, the data warehouse, and Vertex AI. bringing AI into your data analysis.
Inside the database itself.
Yeah. And not just for structured data like tables. You can now combine that structured data with unstructured data images, documents using AI functions right in your BigQuery queries.
Whoa. Can you give an example?
Sure. The source mentioned analyzing images stored in Google Cloud Storage. You set up an external table in BigQuery pointing to them.
Okay.
Then, in your SQL query, you use an AI function to ask questions about the image, like what city is in this picture, directly in the query.
You're querying the image content from SQL. That's wild. Unlocks so much potential from unstructured stuff.
It really does. And there's a new feature that automates part of this even further. It's called AI Generate Table, a new BigQuery function.
What does it do? Generate a table?
Kind of, yeah. It automatically creates a new structured table by extracting insights from your unstructured data using an AI model.
Oh.
You point it at your unstructured data, give it a prompt saying what you want to pull out, define the schema for the new table, and BigQuery uses AI to fill that structured table for you.
That's massive. Turning unstructured data into analyzable tables automatically? Huge.
It's a really big step. Makes all that unstructured data much more useful for standard analytics.
Okay, what else is new in BigQuery analytics land?
Well, there's now native support for Apache data sketches.
Data sketches. What are those again, like summaries?
Exactly. They're efficient algorithms, often called streaming algorithms, for summarizing enormous data sets without storing every single point. Think approximate answers, but really fast and using way less memory.
Useful for really huge data sets where an exact count might take forever or cost too much.
Precisely. BigQuery now supports functions like approxCountDistinct, approxQuantile, approxOPK, basically ways to get approximate unique counts, distribution points, top items, and combine these summaries.
Got it. Faster insights on massive data. Anything else on the data front? Big Lake. Iceberg.
Yep, updates there too. Big Lake, which lets BigQuery query data lakes, now has better native support for Iceberg tables stored on GCS, and you can manage that Iceberg data via BigQuery now generally available or AlloyDB in preview.
Okay, and I think I saw something about a new engine.
Ah, yes, the Lightning engine. It's new, currently in preview.
Lighting engine. Sounds fast.
That's the idea. It's a high-performance query engine specifically designed to boost Apache Spark performance on Google Cloud.
How much of a boost are we talking?
The benchmark mentioned showed up to 3.6 times faster performance for Spark queries on large 10 TB scale datasets.
Wow, 3.6x. Where can you use it?
It's in preview in the premium tiers of Google Cloud Serverless for Apache Spark and Databricks. So if you're running big Spark jobs there, this could significantly speed things up.
Definitely something to check out for Spark users. Okay, let's dive into databases. What's happening there?
A big theme is consolidation and, well, AI assistance. There's a new thing called Database Center.
Database Center. What is it?
It's an AI-assisted dashboard. The key idea is a single centralized view across all your different Google Cloud databases.
All of them, like Cloud SQL, Spanner, Bigtable.
AlloyDB, Memory Store, Firestore. Yep, the whole fleet in one place.
What's the benefit?
Better performance and health monitoring across everything without jumping between different consoles should make life easier for DBAs managing multiple database types.
That sounds incredibly useful. What about actually using the databases, that natural language query thing?
Yeah, NL2 SQL, natural language to SQL. That capability is expanding, being able to just ask a question in English rather than writing SQL code.
And that works across BigQuery, AlloyDB.
Right, integrated with Vertex AI behind the scenes to do the translation from your question into SQL.
Is it simple to make that work?
Well, the user experience aims to be simple, but the tech behind it is complex. The source mentioned a technical series that digs into how it actually works. Context building, finding the right tables, evaluating the generated SQL, prompting the LLM, cleaning up the output.
So a lot goes into making that just ask a question experience seamless.
Definitely. It shows the sophistication involved.
Okay. Any specific database enhancements? Like for AlloyDB?
Yes, AlloyDB, the PostgreSQL compatible one with the AI focus, got enhancements to its ScaNN index.
ScaNN index. That's for vector search, right?
Primarily, yes. And these enhancements aim to improve performance and quality when you're searching data that mixes structured info, like in database columns, with unstructured stuff like text descriptions or vectors.
How does it do that?
Using a technique called filtered vector search. It smartly combines traditional database filters, like a where clause, with the vector search based on semantic similarity.
Smartly how?
It decides when to apply the filter before the vector search, after it, maybe during it, based on how much the filter narrows things down. This makes the search faster and the results more relevant for that mixed data scenario.
Interesting. So optimizing for combined structure, unstructured search. What about Spanner?
Big news for Spanner, the distributed relational database, native support for the Cassandra Query Language API, CQL.
Wait, native CQL support on Spanner, as in Apache Cassandra's language?
Exactly. This is a huge deal for organizations using Cassandra today.
Why? Easier migration.
Massively easier. If your applications are already talking SQL to Cassandra, you can potentially migrate them to Spanner with very minimal code changes and less downtime. It lowers the barrier significantly.
That's a smart move to attract Cassandra workloads. Okay, shifting out a bit to the broader developer world and infrastructure. Anything notable there?
Yeah, there's definitely a push to help Java developers build AI apps. Java's huge, right?
Massive community.
So the release of Spring AI 1.0 is highlighted. Spring is super popular in the Java world.
So Spring AI is like a bridge for Java devs into AI.
Pretty much. It gives them tools and abstractions within the Spring framework they already know, making it easier to integrate AI capabilities, like talking to LLMs, into their Java applications. Positions Java and Spring strongly for AI development.
Makes sense. And the AI hypercomputer, that big AI training and inference system.
Also getting developer experience improvements. Things like Pathways on Cloud.
What's that?
Lets you scale up interactive notebook workflows, like the ones you might build on your laptop, to run across huge numbers of GPUs or TPUs seamlessly.
Scaling up easily. Nice.
And Xprofiler, which is a tool for really digging into performance analysis and debugging those complex AI workloads, helps figure out bottlenecks.
So tools for scaling and debugging at scale.
Right. Plus, things like pre-built container images and optimized recipes for frameworks like PyTorch and JAX just makes it faster to get set up and run efficiently on that specialized hardware.
Okay, last area. Keeping everything running smoothly. DevOps, SRE stuff. What's new for operations?
Remember, personalized service health, the feature that shows you service disruptions specifically affecting your projects.
Yeah. Tailored health alerts.
Well, now it's integrated with Google Cloud Assist.
The chat interface for Google Cloud.
Exactly. So now you can just ask Google Cloud Assist questions about service health using natural language.
Like what kind of questions?
Things like, is Project X okay? Or what's the status of Service Y? Or give me details on Incident ID 123. Or even, what are the troubleshooting steps for this issue affecting Product Z?
Oh, wow. So you can just chat to check on service health and get info during an incident?
Yep. Makes getting that critical, personalized health information potentially much faster and more conversational, especially when you're trying to figure out what's going on.
That sounds incredibly useful during a stressful outage situation.
Definitely brings that info right into an easy-to-use interface.
Yeah. Okay, that was quite the tour. We really covered a lot of ground.
We did. From AI models and developer tools
To data analytics and BigQuery, database upgrades, container infrastructure like GKE.
and even operational tools for keeping things running. It's a broad set of updates.
It really paints a picture, doesn't it? Continuous improvement across the board, making GCP more powerful, easier, faster, for all sorts of different jobs.
Absolutely. Whether you're building the latest AI app, managing databases, crunching huge data sets, or just keeping the lights on.
And for you listening, just keeping track of these changes, getting a sense of what's new, helps you understand where the platform is going and what you might be able to do with it.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing how fast things are moving, isn't it?
It really is. The pace is just incredible.
You know, thinking about it, with AI getting woven into almost everything, databases, dev tools, even operations like we just discussed, it makes you wonder, what completely new kinds of applications or insights do you think will become possible on Google Cloud soon? Things we maybe haven't even thought of yet, just because these capabilities are intersecting in new ways.
That's a really interesting question to ponder. What new possibilities open up? A great thought to end on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.